So last class we have discussed about the different designs, STLC. Okay. So the next phase is coding or development. Okay. So next phase is coding and development. Obviously, after you have designed the blueprint, you'll be doing the coding. Okay. So you'll be doing the coding of various models. Then after the models are built, you'll be combining to form the architecture, whole software architecture. Okay. So first will be see just the similar way you build a house. First you build the door, then you build the door is built somewhere as a different unit. Your window is built somewhere as a different unit. Your furniture are built somewhere at a different unit. Okay. At the end of the day, everyone are assembled to a single entity to be your home with all the furnitures, door, windows, everything. So first we'll be following the module. First we'll be following the module design. Then we'll be creating those. We'll be doing the development. Or we'll be doing the coding for the module design. Then we'll be combining this to form the architectural design. Okay. Then we'll be going to system design. Okay. Top, bottom to top. So here actually it is the in STLC it is the longest phase, and the developer start coding and they build the entire what application. Then next is the testing. Okay, so whatever they have built, is it correct or not? Is it meeting the customer expectation or not? That comes in testing. So here the testing team will validate that everything good and fine, so that the customer can use it. Or else what happens is, see, or else what happens is that whenever I build something, okay, whenever I build something, just forget about application. A normal thing only. I am given a work to build something, build a some thing I have given the work to be for building. Okay, some physical thing. Let's say I'm given the work to build a chair. So what I will think, the as I build one building and the final product, I'll always think that yes, whatever I thought I have built it and it is up to the expectation. I'll never find any error in that. If I build by myself, it is hard to find the error because I have built in the way I thought. So it is meeting my thought. But the moment someone else use it, they will find some discrepancy in that final product. So here comes the role of the testing team. So the development team has done their application. Obviously, they're not thinking in the mind that I'll build a faulty application. They, according to their thinking, they would be thinking that yes, I have built the application which is okay, and there is no fault in this application. Correct. But to validate that or to confirm that, the testing is performed in SDLC. And now this testing again will follow a certain procedure that is called STLC. This is STLC, Software Development Lifecycle. That is Software Testing Lifecycle. That is STLC. Again, STLC comes under STLC. Okay, that is a subset of STLC. So this testing team will do the testing following STLC, which will be learning after this. Okay. Then after the testing is done, then implementation phase. So what is implementation phase? Now see, you are a technical person. Okay, you developed, let's say whoever the company have developed, they had a technical person. They developed using some technical thing. Now, the end user don't know. That means as a client, I also don't know. In my system, what all applications should I install, then only this application will work. Let's say for hosting a web application, I need to install WebLogic. What the client know about WebLogic? If he's a non-technical, have never heard of it. Okay, or say let's say I have to install a database. So what you know about database? Nothing. So here comes the implementation phase. So you have, as the client is paying for you, just forget, just say when you are when you are using software, you must have seen there are two versions. One is free version, one is paid version. Now, in free version, you cannot demand anything. But the moment you pay some premium, you can raise a ticket, you can ask for help, you can ask for a certain flow how it is working. Same here, as the client is paying, so the product if you just give the product, it will not work. You have to install all the software that will support that product in their hardware, as well as you have to give the proper training. Okay, as well as you have to give a proper training to those person who can use it. Okay, this comes under implementation phase. And the last phase is your maintenance phase. Okay, after it is properly handed over to the client, just assume when you bought a bike. Okay, when you bought a bike, so what happens? You go to the showroom to bidding a bike or car, whatever. They show you demo that if you press this button, this will start. If you press this clutch, this brake, you have to press this button, it will show the indicators, all these things. So that is the implementation phase of that company. Let's say you are going to buy a BMW car. Now, the guy in the showroom, who is again a part of BMW company, will show you if you click on this, this will open. If you do that, that will happen. This side, that will happen. So that is the implementation phase. He is training you or giving you information of the product, how to use it. Now comes the maintenance. Now you in implementation phase, what happened? He showed you this will happen, that this will happen, this you have to use this, that, and all. Then you bought the final product. So implementation phase also here also we did the software installation, we did all the trainings for them. Then we gave the final product which is developed. Now comes the maintenance. Now you bought a car to your own. You will be using someday. After some day, you will be doing maintenance in that. Although you have got a completely perfect car, but after using, you are doing some maintenance. Here also in application, you need maintenance. Let's say what happened. Tomorrow the database, now see, the team, the development team, let's say there are 10 people who are doing the development. Tomorrow if it goes to maintenance, then one or two people will do maintenance. The whole 10 people will not remain in the maintenance. Because maintenance, it is just a kind of support you are giving. Okay. So just like assume when you bought the car, you have given let's say 100 rupees. Now when you go to maintenance, you give 1 rupees. Same here. When the development was going on, the client was paying for 10 resources. Let's say each resource 100 rupees, so it will be 1000 rupees. But for maintenance, he'll just keep one and he'll pay just 100 rupees. Okay, why? Because that's just a maintenance page. What is maintenance? Let's say in the client side, the database which is installed, it got corrupted due to some reason, maybe due to virus attack, maybe due to hacking, whatever reason, maybe due to hardware failure, the database got corrupted. Now the client is not technical person. If he don't have a person for maintenance, he just bought the product and just told the company, yes, I don't need any help from you. You can leave. Then it will be a problem for him. If he is not a technical person, then how he will install the database? He cannot install the database and do his normal activities. So for this, the next phase in the STLC is maintenance, and every product which is an ongoing product, that means the product which everyone is using, till then there is maintenance. Maintenance cannot be overlooked. The day till the client uses the product, there is maintenance. Without maintenance, there is no product. Because something will happen. Now Windows 10 may be upgraded to Windows 11 in the client system. It may happen some application feature may not work in Windows 11. It may not be supported in Windows 11. So then what will happen? What client will do? Then you have to have one technical person. Then this maintenance guy will change his code according to that particular new application or new use. So these all comes under maintenance. So this completes your SDLC. So everyone clear what is STLC?
Yes.
Yes.
Can anyone summarize me what is STLC? If everyone is clear, just try it. Anyone can you summarize? So I have given you the steps also. Just tell one
Yeah,
line.
so the first steps where we show the software requirement and analysis. The BA prepare the SRS document, right? When the client told his requirement according to that, then we prepare the SRS document. After that, for making a software, we also need to design it, like what things we need at the back end, like security or something. Those comes under the designing, and then the coding
No,
phase
no,
came.
no. Design is just the blueprint of what will be designed. Design means basically when you build a house, there is a plan for the civil engineer. That is a design. Okay.
Okay. So the as you told, the system design, all things comes under this phase, right?
Correct.
Then the
Correct.
coding came when the developers developed the software. Then the testing team came. They test that the build that will get given by the coders. So they will develop the software in parts. Like they will give you build, not the whole software.
That will come to the next topic after STLC. That will come. What you are speaking now, it will not come. That will come later.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
then the implementation and the maintenance came. Whenever we develop something, that thing also need the maintenance, like upgrading or like these kind of things.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this was
So
all
Pratik,
about.
who do this like maintenance? Who's this responsibility?
I told you, na, if there are 10 developers, the client will keep one developer out of those 10 developers. This one developer will do the maintenance.
Okay.
So, Gautami, Gautami, you also got the idea?
Yes, sir.
So, see, in functional testing interview, you will be expecting these theories only, okay? So, these are important for you. Every theory what we are learning are important for you. Okay, because these are the things which they can ask. The max to max for practical point of view, they can give you a certain feature just when you write the test. That also will learn how to write a test. Okay. Now, in the testing phase of the STLC only, so the testing team will do the testing. But how they will do the testing? There need to be a certain life cycle, right? Everything what you have to do has a life cycle. That means to start from somewhere and end at a certain point. So, what are the phases in STLC? So, what is STLC? Software testing life cycle. So, the procedure of software testing is called as software testing life cycle. which include phases of testing process. The testing process is executed in a well-planned and systemic manner. All activities are done to improve the quality of software product. So what does this testing STLC includes? It includes requirement analysis, it includes test planning, it includes test development, it includes test execution, it includes test reporting, it includes retesting, regression testing, and test closure. So let's see what that is. Okay. So the first phase. So what is the first phase? Requirement analysis is exactly the same as the SDLC. Okay. So requirement is required for everyone, for developer also, for tester also. Developer need it for what? To design the application, but tester need it to test the application, because if you don't understand the application, how you will test it? Now, when you go to a mechanic, okay, when you buy a car or bike and go to a mechanic, okay, if you tell that this part is not, this feature is not working, my bulb is not working. So first you need to test that in which component of the bike the issue is there. Is the battery dead, or the wire is sorted, or the IC is sorted, or the bulb is sorted. So he need to test each component one by one. Okay, so basically first we do the testing. Then he know the root cause that yes, this particular component is broken, for this it is not. Okay, so why he can do this testing? Because he know the complete flow. He know the complete flow, because without the knowledge, he cannot do it. Why you are not able to insert, rectify the mistake in the bike? Because you don't have the knowledge where the component are fixed and what are things. So even though you are a tester, you need also to do a requirement analysis, because you need to be clear about the requirement, about the application. Then only you can test that application. So as like SDLC, requirement analysis is also there in STLC. Okay, where you do the requirement analysis as like STLC, because you also need to be clear. If you are clear, then only you can test the application. If you are not clear, then it's not possible for you to test the application. So requirement analysis is there. Then comes the test case planning. Test planning is there. Okay, now let's say there is an application. There may be some simple component, there may be some complex component. Obviously, there will be different components. Okay, there will be different components in the particular application. Now, what does this test planning do? Now, let's say I have to complete certain feature within 15 days. Okay, I have to complete certain feature within 15 days. So, what will happen? I have to take into account how many resources are there. Test planning, maybe you can say the test lead or the test manager. So we must take into account this. I have 5 resources who will be doing this activity. Right? Now, from these 5 resources, let's say someone will go for 3 days leave in those 15 days. So that also you need to take into account. That yes, one person is available for 7 days, one person is available for 10 days, one is for 9 days. These all we also need to take into account. That means leaves also you need to take into account. Now, again, we have to take into account the seniority of those person. Let's say 10 members are there in the team. Not necessarily the all 10 will be of same extent. Some may be junior, some may be senior, some may be middle age. Right? So what this person will do? We need to segregate the test cases which will be designed. Or the components. Let's say this is a very easy component. So we'll give you the junior most member of the team. This is the most hard component in the team. So he gives to the most experienced person in the team. Okay, so these all comes under where? Because at the time of testing, I cannot do that, right? Before testing, I need to finalize all these things. Who will test what, who will be going to lead for how many days, how many resources will be working so that it will complete in those things. This is all planning. This is all planning I have to do prior to the actual testing I am doing. So if I will summarize all this thing what I am doing, that is called a test plan. So I will take into account every aspect that are involved in the testing and plan accordingly. Now let's say one is going for 3 days leave, personal leave. So I have to give some I have to give less discuss than the person who is present for the whole 10 days. Sure. I have to create a proper planning. Okay. I have to create a proper planning before going to the actual testing. With all the resources, with all the test cases, with what environment I will be testing. Now let's say the client says my application should run in Windows 11, iOS 12, and Linux. So you need to plan again that who is well versed in Windows, who is well versed in iOS, who is well versed in Linux. So you have to again divide those tasks accordingly among the resources because not necessarily who is using Windows is same comfortable as using iOS or are using Linux. Who is using Windows, he will be more comfortable in Windows. Who is using Linux will be comfortable in Linux. That is vice versa. So this also you may take into consideration. So test plan is basically every you need to plan in prior whatever thing you are going to do in future, basically, with that particular application. With your existing resources you have, with your existing time you have, and with the existing what support you have.
So, Pratik, who do
Yeah.
the test planning? The testing team?
Yeah, the testing team, but the final plan will be approved by the test lead or the test manager.
Test manager?
Yeah,
Okay.
everyone is involved. See, because nowadays we are following agile, so what is agile and all will be learning later on. So everyone needs to be involved in a decision making. Not that only the manager will come and he will make a decision. So I'll tell you one scenario. Now let's say there is a requirement. Now the manager commits to the client that yes, this will be done in 5 days. But actual scenario it cannot be done in 5 days. So there will be a conflict of communication, right? The manager commits something, but the actual thing what is happening is different. So everyone should be involved actually in the decision making. Because if let's say everyone is involved, so they can tell, see, manager, you don't expect the manager to be technical also. In IT, you don't expect the manager to be technical. And so we cannot say that how complex it is and how much time he will take. Actual development tester can tell what is the complexity and how much time will take. Manager don't go into the technicalities of the application. He's there just to manage and to bridge between the stakeholders. So if he doesn't consult everyone and just give a random number to the client, what comes in his mouth, that would be an issue also. In the agile world, actually every project nowadays are following agile world. So in this agile world, a single person, even if it's a manager, he cannot take a decision single-handedly. Yes, he can take the suggestions of everyone and then he can take decision by own. That is different. But without suggestion, he cannot take. If he commit 15 days and the team is unable to do it in 15 days, then what will happen? Unnecessary escalation will happen. So even though the manager decides, it's a actually a team meeting happens. Sprint planning. Actually, there's a purpose planning happens. So and all team members are there. So the uh, So if there is a feature to test, the manager will consult all the team members that it will take how many days. And the maximum, let's say two people tell that it will take 4 days, and 5 people tell it will take the 7 days. Okay, so the client have the manager have to give approval for 7 days. We will go with the time what maximum are trading, because the person who is telling 4 days, maybe he is very sharp or he is very intelligent, he can do it. But the person who is doing 7 days, the class manager have to work with him also. If he tells 7 days, the person who takes 7 days can also do. The person who takes 4 days, he can also do. But if he tells 4 days, the person who takes 7 days, he cannot do it. Okay, so it's basically a not an individual decision. I would say rather it's a cumulative team decision. Okay, which performs this test plan. Understood? Was asking. Very well, I guess was asking, right?
Yes, Pratik. So the manual tester and the automation tester all comes under in one team, right?
Yes, everyone comes in one team because in Agile automation is one. I will explain you while explaining Agile why we need automation in Agile. Okay, the next step is test case development. Now my test plan is ready, my resources are ready, my application is ready for test, everything is ready. I have the requirement analysis done. I know everything about the application. So there need to be a documented thing which will state what I will test. Okay, because what is a test case? Test case is that someone, the client will know that yes, that we was testing the login feature, but what I tested in that login feature, that need to be documented. Because remember, in the IT world, if you don't document things, no one will believe you. After 20 days, let's say an error occurred, and during your testing, you have tested it and that error was not there. So you will think that feature is working and not report it as a bug. But let's say after due to some reason, after 20 days, that happens to be a bug. So if you don't have the documented, if you have not documented everything what you have done, the blame will directly come to you. So always remember, in IT industry, you need to have everything documented. Not a single thing you can say, yeah, it's okay, it's supposing I leave it. Because if you don't have everything documented or as a proof, the moment any error occurs and it is involved with the activity you have done earlier, directly the blame will come to you. Okay. So the basic thing of testing, which you need to be documented, is a test case. So what is a test case? Now test case is the testing actual, what are the things I'll be actual testing? Now say login features. These login features are what will happen? The client will only know that I'll be the correct username password. Before login, it will log in. Okay, so he will do that. But let's say I have to test it for 5 to 6 scenarios. The scenarios I was discussing the other day in the class. So this 5 to 6 scenarios, this will be documented and this will call be test cases. Because let's say one of the scenario, let's say he try to test it some other day, and if I have not documented it and it is not working, then he will tell me that you have not tested this way also. So test case is basically if it is a login, that is a scenario. We have discussed what is scenario what and all. So in the previous classes, so test case is how many number of those I can test a particular scenario. That is basically test case. That's it. So if it is login, I can test it in 7 different ways. So that is a test case, 7 different test cases. So this comes under test case development, stays in the testing. Clear?
Yeah.
I see only Thalwan speaking in the class. What about Fazil and Gopani? Because silent.
Yes, clear.
Yeah.
In class itself.
Now, once the test case development is done, so what is the next step? I've developed the test case, I've designed the test case, everything is. So what should be my next step? My next step will be test case execution. Now, when I have designed the test case, I will execute those test case. So what is the use of designing the test case if I do this? So I will execute those test case in the application. So that will be my next step. Okay, that will be my next step in the STLC. Now, the next step is test reporting. So what is test reporting? So test reporting is that, let's say I have tested all the test cases I have designed. I have tested all the test cases that I have designed. Now what will happen? I report those test cases are not working. Those test cases are not working means that is a bug. That may be fixed by the developer. So I need to report this test case in some tool. Let's say we'll learn what is the tool and done. So let's say, see, what will happen is that I found a test case is not working. That means that is a bug. So where I shouldn't just report it and store it somewhere in my local. Then how the client, the developer will know, how the client will know that, how anyone else will know other than me. So for that picture, we have a certain tools which you can say just as a website. So there, if I update, I open the website, I can update, someone opens the website, then we can also see that way. So what will happen? Everyone can see it in a common place and update it in a common place. Okay. Now I have executed the test case. I found some bugs. So what I will do? I will just go and report in that particular tool. That yes, this test case is not working, so this is a bug. So what should it include? If I report a bug, what should it include? Now, it should include the step to reproduce. That means I'll go open the URL, I'll go to this button, I'll click this button, everything. All the steps you have to include there. Step to reproduce is very important because the developer will not remember. How the developer will understand the flow, in which flow the error occurs. You need to give the step to reproduce section in every defect which you report. That is the basic requirement. Because forget about developer, anyone else come. Let's say you leave the company, some tester comes tomorrow. How you will understand how to reproduce the defect? The step of reproduction is very important. Step to reproduce. Because that will give an idea to anyone. Let be your replacement, let be someone else, so join in the future, the developer, the client, everyone can go through it and reproduce the defect. If there is a defect in the application, if I click on login, means the page is crashing, means every time it will crash until it is fixed. So I need to mention the step that you want to click this button and then see that page is crashing. So that a layman who sees it also can reproduce the defect in the application. So this
Okay,
comes
so
and yeah.
Pratik, when we are doing like test execution, after doing that, if there is a problem, then we report that all things like these things are not working in the test reporting. What if like things are working? Do we also need to keep
Mhm.
record of those things? Yeah, these are working.
Yes. In the tool only, you will be uploading all the test case what you have developed. Whichever are passed, you will mark it as pass in the tool only. There will be an option there to mark it as pass or fail. So whichever passed, you mark it as pass, so everyone see that it is passed and no issues, no defect is raised. But which are failed, you need to raise a default and link to those test cases in the tool, so that everyone can see the test case and see the defect also. If the test case is not linked, or let's say it is not uploaded in the tool, you have the test case with you in the Excel sheet. Okay, then what you can do, you can give the step to reproduce. So every company follow different way. Some people upload the test case again the tool, but some people don't upload. They just keep it in the Excel and they share it in the shared drive or whatever. So what they need to do, they only raise the defect in the tool. So they need to give the step to reproduce the defect. Clear, everyone?
Okay. Okay, yeah, yeah, clear.
Okay.
Yep, clear. Thank
Okay. So this is comes under test reporting. So now what is the next step? Next step is that let's say you have reported the bug in the tool. So the client, the developer, some developer has been assigned the bug. So what he will do? He immediately work on those things and fix it. So when he works on those fields and fix it, it comes to you again. Why it comes to you again? You have already reported it again. Why it comes to you? It comes to you to confirm that yes, the developer has correctly fixed it. The developer has correctly fixed it or not. For that, again, you have to retest that particular feature and confirm that yes, this particular thing is working. Understood? This is retesting.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is retesting of the bug which I have raised during test case execution. Okay. Now forget about this application. Now let's say there is a pipe. Let's say some part of it, some feature of it is not working. So what happens? We go to the mechanic. He fixes this feature. This feature got work. But you may have encountered this also, that in course of fixing that feature works, but some other problem may arise if it's not that much good mechanic. Let's say you have went to him that my headlight is not working. He fixed your headlight, but during those fixing, he did something that your backlight is not working. Earlier it was working. You went there to fix it. He fixed it. After fixing the headlight got work, the feature for which no point that is working. But again, what happened? The existing feature now got crashed. The backlight is not working. This you may have encountered in any of the scenario, not only in bike, in your normal other appliance also you are using. Right? Same goes with application also. What can happen? Now I reported 5 bucks. He fixed those 5 bucks. Now I requested those 5 bucks. Yes, those and I saw that yes, those 5 bucks are working. That means those 5 bucks are completely fixed by the developer. But I'm not sure during the course of fixing these 5 bucks, he may have impacted some other 10 test cases which are already working. Maybe they are not working now. It may happen, right? You must have encountered this scenario, right? In your day-to-day life also. You go fix one thing, the other things which are working at it that got damaged. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, Pradeep.
Okay. So you did the retesting of those bugs which you have raised. Let's say 5 bugs were raised, that you did retesting and you confirm that yes, these are working. But again, after retesting also, you need to confirm the existing let's say out of 1,000 test cases, 5 bugs were there and 995 test cases are working completely fine. So after I have reported it and the developer has fixed it, I have retested it. Those 5 bugs. Okay, that is done. Now what about this 995 test cases? It may happen that while fixing these 5 test cases, the developer may have hampered some 10 to 15 test cases up to 995 test cases, which is working earlier may not be working now. So for that, you need to do regression testing. So what is a regression testing? What is black box and white box? It's later on. So basically regression testing is a testing which is tested to check the previous functionality of the application is working fine. When the new changes that are done have not produced bug in the existing feature which are created. So retesting is basically testing the older working feature again, just to confirm that the new feature which is developed doesn't hamper the older feature which was working earlier. That is regression testing. Everyone understood this regression testing? What is regression testing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Pratik.
So next step is regression testing. So after regression testing, you saw that everything is working fine. The last step is your test closure. So what is test closure? So test closure is basically a document which gives a summary of what all activities you perform during your STLC. Now, as a tester, what is your credit? What actually will make you visible in front of your manager or your client? The number of defects. The more the number of defects you have raised, that will make you more visible in the system to everyone, to the clients, to the manager, everyone. So the test closure is basically the completion. Let's say after you complete, you do a handshake in a match, right? Here, so test closure is a completion document in which you summarize what all testing you have done during the complete STLC, whatever defect you have reported in the STLC, okay, and what is the time taken, who did which part, which test case testing, okay, everything. So it's basically the summary of the whole STLC activity which we have done till now. Understood? So test closure document is basically the summary of the STLC activities which we have done till now. And it also for each and every resources was there, along with each and every defect also which was raised. So that if anyone comes tomorrow, if he is the client or manager, he wants to understand what all activities performed by the testing team and you performed what, he can just go through this test closure report and find all the information there, rather than going into it. So understood everyone? So this completes your STLC, software testing life cycle also. Understood? Everyone?
Yes, Pratik.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
So see, I am not sure STLC would be asked to you, but STLC is guarantee question if you are attending a interview for functional testing. STLC is guaranteed. STLC may be optional, they may ask you or may not ask you, depending on the interviewer. But what I can say is STLC is guaranteed question for you. As a testing engineer, you need to know this STLC with all the pages, right?
So, Pratik, in test closure, we need to give the each and every detail, right? How many times we have done retesting, how many times we have done regression
Everything,
testing.
everything,
Oh.
everything. Okay, so that it will summarize of whatever you've done till now. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, so close today for here. Okay, then we'll start another topic tomorrow's class.